Kia ora mai te whānau, nau mai hara mai. Now, this is our first time on YouTube in a while, long while, and I've just had to set things up. I think I've probably made some mistakes, so please let us know if the sound's working. Thank you, Lisa, for chickening in. I see there was a lot of people here waiting already. Thank you for chickening in. Right, can you hear me okay? That's the first important thing. Second important thing, because I was setting things up for the first time, I might have used up some of the time that I'm allowed. I think I'm allowed an hour stream at the moment. Once I build up numbers, that should increase, but it might mean we have to race through a few things. Okay. Thank you for letting us know, and kia ora mai everyone. Thanks Manaki. Right, logos, business stuff and stuff like that. We're going to have a look at that now, but before we do that, I do have a little pānui. I'm going to share that next month is Poetry Month for our Te Manawa Haukura Research Institute at the Wānanga. It's available for tauira and kaiako at Kaimahi, any whānau. So you can register here. I'll chuck this in the chat in a sec. But there's sessions each Friday on poetry, and there's a poetry competition that is about our connection to our built world, our built environment, and there's a $500 prize for the best English poem and 500 for the best reo poem. So have a look at that whānau. I know we have a lot of poets in our whānau, so there we go. I'll put that in the chat, and let's get into our kaupapa. So I'm going to do this from the perspective of, oh, you can see me playing there, from the perspective of our rongoa whānau who have to create labels. But I know we've got a bunch of our business tauira that join in as well. And so this is going to be useful if you're mocking up business ideas and stuff like that. Okay, so let's just open up a presentation. Just going to go File, New. Okay, just going to go blank presentation, and I'm going to look at just some simple logo design. Now, I found this picture of a kawakawa leaf. I'm just going to copy that. Now, I don't want to use this picture itself because it belongs to someone, but I am going to use it for a bit of inspiration. And it's kind of a bit heart looking, isn't it? So let's come to our shapes, and we have somewhere around here a heart. Okay. So thanks everyone for chickening in too. So here we've got a heart. I'm going to change the fill. I'll change it to a deep green. But it's not quite exactly the right shape that I want. Okay, I can change it by squashing it or making it bigger or smaller around that way. And I can also come to up here in the top where it says Edit Shape. I'm going to click on Edit Points, and I'm going to grab this point in the middle just here and push that up a bit. I'm holding my control button down on my keyboard while I use my scroll wheel on my mouse just to zoom in and out. Whoopsie, I'm going to grab this point. This is like a vector point. This is what creates that shape. And I'm just going to squash that down a bit just so it's not as pronounced. I still want to get a heart kind of shape, but I want to make it look a little bit flatter. Okay, so we can do that kind of thing with shapes. Let's duplicate this slide. Okay, just because I want to play around with this, but I don't want to ruin my first one. Okay, I'm just going to copy the shape, paste it, and I'm just going to spin it like this. This is a fairly simple kind of idea for a logo. This isn't what I'm actually going to end up with, but just showing you some of the things that you can do. So copying and pasting, kind of shoving them in the middle. Okay. And that one I might change to a shape format. Okay. So shapes are really, really useful for creating, yeah, like you can be really creative with it, basically. But that's not what I'm going to create. I'm going to come back to here. I'll put that to the side a bit. And I do want that shape. That's nice. I'm going to just put that shape on a little bit of an angle, and I'm going to come and do like the stem. So I'm going to, once again, insert shape. I'm going to choose a rectangle, and I'm just going to create something like that. Okay. Once again, holding Control down and using the scroll wheel on my mouse will zoom in and out. Shape format, shape fill. Let's go a more fill colors. Standard. Let's just go kind of a brownie. That one. Okay. And I'm going to put that here. I want to once again come over to my edit shape and edit points. Okay. I'm just going to drag that point down like that just to put it in the corner. And then I can drag these around here. Now, whatever of these points I select, it'll give me these vector lines to that point. Okay. So if I change there, they change to the next point. Hopefully you can see that. Okay. So here I'm adjusting that side. Here I'm adjusting that side. I'm just going to pull that down a little bit. Do the same on that side. Not much, just to give it a little bit of a bend. And once again, same thing with these, just to get a little bit of a stylized look. Okay. Now, what I'm also going to do is select the heart shape that I've altered. We'll come back to shape format, shape fill. I'm going to come to more fill colors again. And it doesn't matter if I'm come to standard or custom. Custom, I get more color options, but I've got a transparency thing here. So I'm just going to grab the transparency and I'm going to drag it up to about 25. Okay. Now that's just going to make it a little bit see-through. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm actually going to copy these. I'm selecting both of them, just holding down Control while I select the first one and then the second one, and it copies them together. Control C, Control V. If you're on a Mac, it'll be Command C, Command V. Okay. And then I can spin them. But you can see here I've spun them, but they've spun around their own center. We'll come back to that in a little bit. So I'll just correct that. Check it like that. I'm just going to get them to overlap a little bit. I don't know if this is a great design or anything. This is, it's just playing around at this stage. Okay. And then I am going to create my business, which is called Kawakawa Balm. Let's just, I can use my arrow keys basically to nudge this around. let's select both of them. Just use the arrow keys to nudge them both. Just want it to come up a little bit, not that much. If I hold my finger down, it'll zap it quickly. I think that's around too much actually. So if I want to move the stem and the leaf together, if I'm rotating it, I can select them both and do a Control G to group. Now they're one object, and so when I spin it, they spin together. Okay. And I can get a, yeah, maybe that's what I want. Okay, let's get rid of that picture now. Now I want to insert some text. So I'm just going to insert a text box, and I'm going to call my business KB, Kawakoa Balm. So I've just done text, big KB. I want a nice big bold font. So I'm going to search through my fonts, something that kind of looks good and unique. KB looks too much like KB Music and Tamaki. Don't want anything too kind of kid looking, so I want it kind of modern. There we go. And let's highlight them, and let's put a couple of spaces, just because that font seems to want to bring those together. Again, highlight them, just keep going up. Move my box. Yeah, that's not too bad. Let's select our text, copy it, paste it again. See. Don't know why that changed. I think that one's a bit of a bung one, so let's replace it with that. KB, copy, paste. And then I'm going to get this one that's on top, and I'm going to give it a nice light color like that. See? Just so that black now has become shadow. And let's insert another text box. I just call it Kawakoa Balm. That font will do for now. Let's put it underneath. And yeah, we have a logo. Real basic, not the greatest logo in the world, but we've created something just using a bit of creativity. Now, I want to do a few things here. I'm going to come to this. I'm just going to delete all of these because that was just a tutu. Okay. I want to select all of my stuff here, Control C, Control V. So I've got it on a new layer, and I want to have just different things that I can copy and paste into other things. So here I'm going to grab my text layers if I can. Actually, let's undo that. Okay. Let's grab our, this will be easier to grab these layers and just move them away. then I can grab all my text layers. See? Okay. Because what I want to do is I'm going to have different formats for my business. Okay. Now, if I wanted to shrink these, okay, because they're separate objects, a little bit like when I rotated them, they're going to shrink separately. So once again, let's select them all, Control G to group, and then when I shrink, they're going to shrink all together. If I want to make sure that I keep them in proportion, so the horizontal in proportion to the vertical, I just hold down Shift while I'm resizing, and it means they're going to scale perfectly vertical. If I don't have Shift held down, I can scale them all out of proportion. So let's bring these over here. And I might get the KB and just make that a little bit darker. Now I can use my eyedropper and choose a color. So it's going to pick the same color. And now I've got something that's kind of more suitable for a letterhead. Let's bring that down a little bit. So you can see I'm actually building up my stationery and ideas. So I'm going to select all of that. Control C, Control V. It's going to make an alternate version. Where I take that Kawa Balm text out. I'll try and grab all of that. I'm going to Control G again to group that together because I want to scale it down a bit. Oh, it's not scaling. Sorry. I need to shrink it like that. Let's get that light color again. Okay, so this is the kind of stuff that I'm doing just to create my original or my master assets. And I want to save that. So I want to save that, keep that handy, because now I need to make some labels. So I am going to come to create a new PowerPoint, new blank presentation. Now I've come to the Avery website, avery.com.au. I want that one and not the just avery.com, because it's going to, this is where I get the letter, not letter, A4 size paper labels. American one obviously will do letters. And the first one I'm going to do, I'll do the simple one first. I've got these labels that are 99.1 millimeters by 57 millimeters. So I want to duplicate that size. So I'm going to come to Design, Slide Size, Custom Slide Size. Okay. Is it again? Easy to forget. 99.1, so 99 by 57. Or 9.91 centimeters by 5.7 centimeters. Okay. Okay, actually do it. System slows. 99, yeah. Okay, let's get rid of them. And this is where I can come here. I'm going to grab all of that. Control C. Come to my new one. Control V. Zoom that down. Make that smaller. Now this isn't the only way to do it. We can actually grab these and make them images. But when we do that, we lose quality every time we copy them. Okay. Color balm. And then I can put some other things. So insert, text box. So just an example of what we can do. Let's be a little bit fancy. Enter those, and I'm going to have my shape format, fill shape, nice light color like that. So there, could be a business card, could be a label, but we're going to make it a label. So what we want to do, and we should save it, but I'm going to come export, change file type, and then I can choose JPEG, PNG. I want to do PNG whenever possible. So PNG is like a JPEG image, but it doesn't lose quality if it's saved multiple times. I'm going to save that. It's going to ask me where I want to save it. I'll just save it to my downloads for now. 99x57 label. Save. Okay, just the slide or all, it doesn't matter. And then downloads. I've already downloaded from the Avery website. You can come and download a Word template. So let's open that up. Okay, we want to enable editing. Okay, and I am going to grab that and drag it on. Now you can see it's not quite centered, or it's not quite fitting. We can come to picture format, wrap text, more layout options. Okay, position, we want to position it. Okay. Actually, let's wrap text. Wrap that. See if we can do it. Let's go to home. Picture format. Position. And make it centered. Okay. So that's just position. Okay. Alignment centered. Yep. And size. We should be able to make that 100%. So there we go. Now that I've done that, I can copy that one Oopsie. And paste it in each thing. Let's just get it aligned. Z, V, V. I hate words sometimes. V, V. And it actually works on the last two. And there we have my labels that I can print. Okay, so let's save that. Okay, and let's look at a round label. Now you might have seen, well, you probably did see, that I was playing around with, this is something I was playing around with earlier to try and get it. So I did something very similar. I come File, New, Blank Presentation, and in Design, Slide Size, and Custom Slide Size, all I did was 10. Just made a circular, a square. So 10 centimeters, 10 centimeters. Okay. Okay, now to get round text in PowerPoint, I'm going to come insert text box. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller than the actual size of my paper. And I've got some text that I've copied, but like you can paste your own text or do your own text. So I've put that text in there. And then if you come to shape format, there's a text effects and you can transform. And then there's circle. Okay. So we can actually get a circle shape in our text. If I just make that a bit bigger, just resize it down a little bit. So once again, select your box with the text, come to text effects and transform. So there's all kinds of different kind of styles that you can do, but circular one. Now it's a little bit, you got to play around a lot with it to try and get the best kind of look, because sometimes too much text will start going wonky. If I come and add some more text, and it starts breaking a little bit. So just getting the right amount of text is going to be important. Let's come back to our masters. Okay. Once again, select all of them. I'm actually going to group them now, and then Control C to copy. I think it's going to be too big on here. So let's see, Control V. If I resize, it's not going to resize the text properly, but take a point for now. Let's get the background okay. And then let's resize the text. Okay, so that's 60. 60. Kawa Balm. Let's just move that around. Okay, so I've got my logo, and I've been able to put it into this. Now we are going to put this on a round label, which is great for like bottle tops and stuff. Once again, Avery Design. I think I did shape. No. Okay, blank labels, circle, round labels, and 60 millimeters. Let's just try that one. Once again, you can download the Word template. What I'm going to do, once again, File, Export, change file type, and PNG. Save as, call it top. Save. And now I've got the top there. Here's the round labels. Let's just drag that on. That's not too bad. Picture format, position. Let's make sure it's in the middle. Okay. Copy it. Paste. So it doesn't matter that it's a square picture. There's no such thing as a round picture on the on computers, actually. So just remembering to click in each of these circles each time. And there we have it. We have our labels. And let's save that. So that's some real basics of using using PowerPoint to design a logo, have it nice and simple, create some different styles, because this one might be something that you'd use as a letterhead. That one you might use as a front of a label or branding or packaging. And you can also, once again, we've saved masters, let's call that, and file, export, change file type, PNG, save. Save. I'll do all slides. So it creates a folder called masters. Where did it save it to? God. I have no idea where it saved it to. I should have taken notice. No, it's still saving. So yeah, that was it. Where are we? Right. So hopefully that was like a little bit quick, I know. But I guess all this month's just been about using tools in creative ways. And once again, PowerPoint isn't the best tool at some of the stuff. There are online logo creators and stuff like that. But sometimes when you just want to play around and free, and you can use the skills that you've already built up then it can be a really useful thing. Thank you to a couple of people who have seen my video about how to make your CV in PowerPoint, and they've done that, and that's been really awesome. So yeah, I'm a little bit over PowerPoint this month, after 5 sessions all about PowerPoint. But yeah, once again, it's a creativity that we bring to whatever we're doing that's going to make the most impact. Not so much having the best tools. So yeah, give it a go, have a try. I'd love to see your outcomes. Now, going forward, we are going to stick with YouTube, and it's because a couple of reasons. Firstly, people are jumping off Facebook now because of, well, the majority of the content is a bit pants nowadays. There's still value in it, obviously, for people connecting, private communities and stuff like that, whānau groups, all kinds of reasons for that. But while we've tried to make it accessible and people not having to have an account to actually watch, one of the big advantages of Facebook in terms of once we'd record a video or do a live stream, it would keep it there in our video library. That's no longer happening. So after a month, Facebook are now deleting our live streams. So what I've been doing is downloading them off Facebook and uploading them to YouTube anyway. So that's kind of solving that issue. Once we record a live stream here, it will save to our YouTube channel for anyone to rewatch later on. We are still going to keep our Facebook page updated. We will post there for all of our live streams. Please, I don't want to say like and subscribe, but if you do subscribe to this channel, hopefully you get notified of future live streams. But once again, they're going to be Wednesday nights anyway, at 8 o'clock. And if you can't make that time, obviously you can rewatch at any stage. If you have any ideas, please see your Tauira support staff. Please message us here or on our Facebook page, or you can email tetoyotoa@twoa.ac.nz and I get that directly. Next month, obviously that's in a couple of days, our first live stream is going to be basics of Excel and also Google Sheets. So we're going to look at Excel and Google Sheets, especially for our new Semester B business whānau. The session after that, we are looking at AI. And so we're going to look at a number of AI tools that you can use for rangaho. So keep an eye out for those ones. I'm really looking forward to them. I'm going to have to learn a lot about, well, refresh my Excel skills, but so it's not going to be super in depth on Excel, but it is going to cover how to set up a sheet, how to do basic formulas, and some different things that you can do across sheets and to help manage things like a business. It's just stuff that I've done when I've had my own businesses and stuff. And my wife's a bit of a Excel whiz, so I'll get her to give me a brush up lesson over the weekend. So thanks very much for joining us again. Really do appreciate all the people that have joined in. We've actually had a lot more than what normally jump on Facebook, so I think that's a win straight away. And yeah, have a great rest of the week. Stay dry, stay warm, stay safe and healthy. And ka kite I a te wiki. Bye. Now that I'm on YouTube, do I still do the outro video talking thing?